Welcome to the garden shop. We want to show you in this video how to grow one of our herb seeds, and in this video it's the chamomile or sweet chamomile seeds. So we'll look at the packaging, and it has at the top here a barcode which you will use on your smartphones, and you basically take a scan of the image here and it will open up the home page on how to grow the seed. At the bottom of the packaging we also have the same thing again. It's basically just a link to the website which will give you again all the information on how to grow your chamomile seeds. Okay, so that's the packaging, and inside that then we have a Ziploc bag which is waterproof, and it's perfect for containing and storing your seeds, which are inside here. So what we want to do, this is the first step in how to grow chamomile, and we're just going to show you how to sow the seeds themselves. So I have here in front of me is the 24 cell seed tray, which has already been half planted with thyme, and I'm just going to plant the second half of it now with the chamomile seed. And the reason why I'm splitting this tray between the two is because they both have quite similar requirements in terms of they need a light, well draining, fertile soil, and they will both be sown in the same way, and that is that I basically just sprinkle a number of seeds over the surface of the compost without being overly particular on the number of seeds that land in each cell. So I'm just going to open up the tray, the punnet here, the packet even. Okay, so I'm just going to pour some out into my hand. It's better just to pour it into your hand rather than pick them out. This is the best way to keep them dry for longest. So there's a good few in my hand. They're very tiny, so there's no point being too particular about how many lands into each punnet. Okay, so we're just going to sprinkle them in. So yeah, you're talking about 15 going into each. And so chamomile can be used for, like thyme, it can be used as a lawn alternative, and that means that it's a very low plant growing on the ground, and it spreads very well, meaning that you get a very good ground cover. It can also be used in teas, to make chamomile tea, and other varieties then are tall plants that grow about 15 centimeters in height. So there's a number of different types of chamomile. So that's them really, that's it sown there. So I sowed about 15 per seed cell there. Now I don't need to cover these, they require light to germinate. So instead of covering them, I will just lightly just push the seeds down into the cells, just to give them better contact with the compost beneath, and to stop them from being washed around the place when I water them now in a second. So now we'll just give them a quick watering. When you're watering these cells, it's important to really pay attention to the outer ones, because they are often the ones that get the least amount of water, as you try not to pour it over the edge. But you probably want to just have a working space that can get a bit messy when you're doing this sort of job. Give them a good soaking in. Scroll over the time here again. So 2 weeks time and your chamomile seeds should have germinated. And then you want to just wait until after the cold weather has passed and the seedlings are large enough to handle, and then effectively you can just transplant them outside into the position where you want them to grow. And like thyme, they require a good bit of sunlight, and they're happiest in well drained soil. While chamomile itself is quite happy in very dry conditions and can deal with a drought for a number of weeks. It'll still survive quite well. So the next thing I just want to do is get a label and just put a label down on our seed tray here, and it's chamomile. So when you're doing labeling, just simply put the date and the name of the plant down. Just that way you can keep a record of what you've grown and what date you sowed them. So again, like the thyme which we have here on the other side of our tray, chamomile benefits from being covered over with a seed tray lid, and that's just again to increase soil temperatures and air temperatures, which will help to speed up germination. So after germination, which takes about 2 weeks, you're looking at about 6 to 8 weeks before the seedlings are large enough to handle to be able to transplant them out into their final position. So their chamomile will be quite hardy, but again you want to wait till after all the frost has passed, so you're talking the beginning or middle of April before you can transplant your chamomile seeds outdoors or your seedlings outdoors. And again, recommend that you harden them off prior to transplanting outdoors. So that's the chamomile seed, how to sow. Again, in a number of weeks' time we'll come back to these seedlings and transplant them outdoors. So that's it. Again, all of these products, the labels, the pressure sprayer, the buckets, the seed tray lids and everything else are all available on thegardenshop.ie.